Drive to Survive Season 4, Episode 4, A Mountain to Climb. Guenther, Steiner and Haas, we are back yet again. Let's get into it. I tell you what, the story with Guenther, Steiner and Drive to Survive, I mean, honestly, all the seasons we've got from seasons 1 to 4, there's nothing but absolute big stories, big shenanigans going on with Guenther, Steiner and the Haas team. You can go back and check out the other videos there because this has been quite a journey. And then you know what? It's good to see the growth of Guenther Steiner, it must admit. And he owes a lot to Netflix and Drive to Survive because he's become so popular during this series. By the way, I love that shot of the Camp Nou all day long. But yes, I'm happy with the growth of Guenther Steiner, of his leadership, because in seasons past, he's always been the one with the headless chicken. He's always been the one that's kind of been a bit ratty. But now, he seems to be somebody who's got the team under wraps. He's the calm man out of all of them. And he seems to be teaching the boys, teaching the rookies on what to expect when you're in Formula One. This is what you have to do. And we're loving the shots of him going up into the mountains and just having a Guenther moment, a personal moment, if you will. So much he's learned since he's been in Formula One, Guenther Steiner. And we're absolutely proud to see how far he is. It's hard not to warm to him. It's hard not to warm to Haas, especially from all the years we've had with them and how hard it's been for them in 2021. It's very crazy. Nikita Mazepin does not have a good season at all in 2021, and to the point where he's very much dumbfounded. How on earth is this car doing? How on earth is Mick Schumacher doing what he's doing in that car? Is it the fact that they got two different cars and they're constantly questioning, asking what are they doing in that car? Can we do the same thing? And it just turns out that Nikita just needs to get better at his driving. Of course, he keeps spinning out. He never seems to bring the car home. Schumacher's, I think, done 13 races by the time we've got onto this episode where he's absolutely outraced him. But then even the dad threatens. Dimitri starts to threaten Haas that, you know what, I'm going to take my funding out if this is what it's going to be, because this is not on. Poor guys at Haas, they're trying to explain that, look, the cars are the same, like what do you want from me, kind of thing. Mick's doing a good job. People are loving his mentality, they're loving his behavior, he's working well with his team, there's good harmony there. But with Nikita, it just seems to be a bit ratty. Everybody's sort of like on edge, they're a bit tense, they don't know what to think or what to do because of the fact that Nikita's getting frustrated, getting very, very angry. Guenther has to put him to the side and say, look bro, we need you to help us help you, if you will. There's no point going blasting out and talking about how the car isn't good enough and sort of getting very annoyed with the team. The team is there to help him, and I just loving that moment. Guenther's having to learn different types of people, he's having to learn different types of characters over the years that he's had, and now he's got two very young boys, and basically he's having to sort of father them, if you will. And so fair play to Guenther Steiner on that one. But we get to Russia, of course, and they get a brand new car. Nikita Mazepin, he gets a brand new chassis on the car, and it's been a horrible race for Mick Schumacher. Gets into a collision early on, and he's out of the race. And then Nikita Mazepin actually does very well. He notices that he's feeling the Russian glow. He's touching that air. He can see those clouds. He remembers his time back in school, where when he saw those clouds, he knew what time it was, and he pits in for the intermediates. He makes the call, he gets back out there. All the senior drivers, however, are saying, nope, no need for intermediates, we'll stay out, which seemed a bit like, something's going to go down here. But in the end, the Inters were the best choice. The Olders didn't know what they were talking about. Nikita knew exactly what he was doing, and he was passing and unlapping himself, and he had a good end to the race. And so it was a good job for him. And everybody was, of course, happy at the home race in Russia. Happy days. So after that good result, all of a sudden, and I don't know how true this is, I don't know whether Netflix have just kind of put this stuff together, but afterwards, Dimitri mentions that he's going to be putting in more funding. Never mind taking money out, he's going to be putting money in to that Haas. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see. So it's kind of ironic how all of a sudden, now that your son's done all right in this other new chassis that you might think, oh, you see, it was different cars and X, Y, Z. All of a sudden, now they're going to increase the funding because Nikita had a good race weekend in Sochi. Loving the way that Netflix makes the scenes very, very tense. I remember that Sochi race, it was tense for reasons I did not want to talk about, but of course, in the actual Grand Prix for the Haas team, it's kind of like, is the intermediate tire the right choice? Is it better to stay out on the hard tire? It was all a bit like I was sort of reliving the moment, and this is one thing I give Netflix credit for. It's what they do with their series in general. They make gripping action, they make you leave on a cliffhanger, and they make you want to come back for more, to binge more and more and more. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I've been binging like no man's business. So yes, Haas team lives on, and as you know, with the situation in Ukraine at the moment, of course the Haas team has completely changed yet again. So I wonder what DTS 5 is going to look like next year, or right now if it's already out.